Hello everyone, I'm KillerT77, a Jurassic World Alive player, and this is my first proper video that isn't just random laggy footage of a game that I don't really play anymore. So, this is a review of the Jurassic World Alive Update 2.4 patch notes, which just dropped yesterday. So it's new abilities, a couple creature changes, some new creatures, and as well as some bug fixes. This is a rather small update, but let's just get right into it. So first new move we have is Devious Strike, which is for Oviraptor and its hybrid Ovilophosaurus. So it's basically just a dodge for 2 turns with increased crit chance for 2 turns, and then attack 1 times, uh, distract 25% for 2 turns. I would say this is actually a pretty good basic move. It doesn't distract for very much, but the dodge helps with that, and the increased crit chance is always nice. And Revenge Cunning Rampage. This is for Dakota Knobs. It's basically just a Cunning Rampage, but with Revenge, it loses the delay, which is, I guess it's okay. It's not anything super special. We've got several of these moves now. We've got Revenge Shattering Rampage. We have, Revenge Null Rampage as well. I cannot talk today. Okay. Superiority Rampage for Ankylodicurus. This is basically Superiority Impact, but it's a Rampage. Or, actually, more like Resilient Rampage, but just worse. I don't know why, but it has a longer cooldown, too, even though it's objectively worse in all other departments. So, unfortunate, especially that it has a longer cooldown, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Alright, creature updates. So, this is a very small update when it comes to creature changes. So first one's Gripolith, which has been changed to make mirror matches a bit less unbearable. So it got Great Emergency Heal, Nerf to Emergency Heal, pretty good attack increase, and stun immunity has been changed to 75% stun resistance, and it now has 67% swap prevention resistance. I would say, and I know a lot of people would disagree with this, I would say this is a slight buff. Because the heal, a ferocious boosted emergency heal will now heal for about 2,800 before it healed for 3,300. That's not that huge of a difference. And it still has high stun resistance, and it can't be pinned as often anymore. And the attack increase is really nice because that'll make a ferocious boosted fierce strike do 1875 damage, which is quite a bit for something that's a counter attacker. And it makes Fierce Strike actually somewhat useful on it. But I know this is going to cause a lot of arguments. I've already argued about a bunch of Discord with people, and yeah. Anyways, Paraswallophus Lux is no longer a night exclusive creature. It's now available all day. Alright, new creatures. This is probably the biggest part of the updates, the new creatures. First we have is Oviraptor, a rare cunning creature. Unfortunately, I feel like this is going to have Gallimimus animations, so good job, Ludia, being lazy again. It's got 1,300 attack, which isn't terrible. Pretty bad health, and good speed. 15% crit chance. This is the first creature ever to have a 15% crit chance, as well as these assistances. I would say this is an okay rare. Things like Ornithomimus and Glenken are probably better, but it does have Devious Strike and Sidestep, both of which are good moves. I would say it's a decent rare, and I'll leave it at that. Alright, Dakota Raptor. Dakota Raptor probably has one of the best icons in this icon is just amazing. So it's an epic cunning. Almost everything in this update's cunning. So sidestep, precise pounce, and distracting rampage with 1,200 attack, 3,150 health, 129 speed, and distraction immunity. This is basically just a slightly better Troodon. It's got a little bit more health, but 1 less speed. It has sidestep, which is nice, and I'd say its 2 rampages are better. Yeah, it's a slightly better Troodon, but I still don't think it's particularly good. Alright, let's get to the hybrids. So, we'll get to Ovilophosaurus, which is an epic cunning hybrid between Oviraptor and Dilophosaurus. And this thing is trash. This thing is just terrible. It's a slightly better Spinosauraptor that doesn't have bleed, but has a rampage and a slightly better moveset in general. So it's got 1200 attack, which is not that good. It's less than both ingredients by 100. It's got pretty bad health and low speed with these resistances. This thing is just trash. It's gonna get constantly one shot by Gamma, by just anything that does that on turn one. It'll get one shot by Pyroraptor. It'll get almost one shot by Utahraptor. It'll get one shot by Charlie. Um, it's just not good. It'll get one shot by Velo even. Although Velo's kind of crazy, so that makes sense. Anyways, let's get to the legendary of this update. Dakotonops, which is you guessed it, another cunning. This is Gorgonops with the new Dakota Raptor. Distraction, which is kind of meh. Precise impact's pretty bad. Distracting impact's okay. Revenge kind of and rampage is pretty alright. Its moveset's kind of bad, and its stats aren't great either. Lowish attack, pretty low health, and actually kind of high speed with the 10% crit chance and these resistances. I don't think this is a good legendary, but it serves one purpose, and that is hard countering Monolometrodon. Because an impact will do 1800 attack, plus a rampage which will do 2400. That's 4200 attack, and which is just enough to beat to kill a Monolometrodon. And it's faster, and it can't be distracted by the Monolometrodon. So it'll still survive with 1200 health after actually no, it'll survive with a bit more because it's going to have distraction on turn one. So besides the Monolometrodon matchup, it's not that good. Alright, let's get to what I think the best hybrid in this update is, Ankylodicarus. Finally, an Ankylocodon super hybrid. This is epic, resilient. Dodicarus plus Ankylocodon. Spirit Vulnerability is always good. Group Tonic Shield's alright. Resilient Impact's good. Superiority Rampage is kind of bad, though, unfortunately. But it could be worse. It's got pretty low attack, good health, low speed, good armor. This is the first creature to have 35% armor as well. They're innovating. 15% crit chance, and a pretty good resistances. Unfortunately, it's not D-cell immune like its ingredients. But it's still good. It's still got good resistances. It can't be stunned. This is basically a pretty good counter for Sarcorixis. It doesn't beat Sarcorixis as bad as something like Indom Gen 2 or Thylacatator would, but it's still another counter out there just for when you need it. And otherwise, it's not too bad. Bug fixes. Here are the bug fixes. You guys can just read them here. Yeah, just read them. Did you read them? Well, pause if you haven't read them, because I'm just going to end the recording. Uh, Goodbye.